r/ask Reddit. What is so stupid but it actually really works? Putting a piece of duct tape on your bike seat so people won't steal it. Who wants to try and sell a potentially ripped bike seat, let alone buy one? Placebo effect. Not just the placebo effect, but knowing it's a placebo and it still works. I went to see Placebo once. I actually thought that they were the cure. Could be worse. Imagine expecting the cure and it turns out to be poison. Opened by anthrax. For me personally, I make a to-do list but put like 3 or 4 things that are just mind-numbingly simple. I knock them out, cross them off, feel productive, and feel motivated to hammer out the tougher pieces. Here's the problem. I get through the 3 or 4 simple things and stop because I feel that I've been productive enough today. Then I put off the real tasks until tomorrow after 3 or 4 more simple tasks. This is still a win in my book. I've been working on being more productive lately. Even though you didn't get to the real tasks, you are practicing making a list and working through it. And one day, you're going to feel motivated enough to get to one of the real tasks. And since you've been practicing already, you're more likely to keep making and going through the lists you make, one step at a time. Putting hand sanitizer on bug bites. It's the most glorious feeling and it works better than any itch spray. Another thing that works great on itchy bug bites. Use a hairdryer. Set it to hot. Blow it at the bug bite from 6 inches away until it just starts to hurt. You're not looking to scald yourself here. Then turn it away. Repeat 2 more times. Strangest thing, but it totally relieves the itch for a good 24 hours. Vastly more effective than anti-itch cream. I have trouble with motivation and procrastination, but I am learning that I routinely fall for some pretty dumb tricks. Giving myself a countdown. If I need to do something I don't want to do, I do it on the count of 3 and for some reason it really helps. Setting insanely easy goals to trick myself into starting a task. For example, spend 1 minute practicing. Once I've started I usually keep going. You only spend 1 minute practicing? Everyone knows the bare minimum is 40 hours a day. Long story short, a boorish guy was bullying my grandfather at a movie theater. My grandpa turned around and literally blew air on his face. The man was so weirded out that he left the theater. With COVID now it might be taken as an attack, lol. That would be a bioterrorism attack now. Today I fixed my refrigerator's water dispenser by forcefully pushing random buttons until it started working again. This was after reading the entire manual front to back twice. Didn't help at all. Eater. Never mind. It's broken again. Time to push more buttons. Feeling tired, headache, muscle cramps? Drink water. It is amazing how many people walk around in a state of dehydration. Water is an amazing fluid that solves a lot of problems. Telling yourself you look good in the mirror will make you think that you look better. To top on, look at yourself in the eye and call out things like you would to a friend. I like your hair today. Your shirt is fantastic. You always have such an uplifting smile. You should be your own friend. Don't talk to yourself in the mirror like you're the enemy. Then you tell yourself you like something about you, but you actually don't like that part about you. So you assume you are making fun of you and not being sincere, so you punch you in the face for being a jerk. On hot days, our neighbor turns on his lawn sprinkler and sits next to it in a lawn chair in his bathing suit. When I wanna be outside on a hot day, I hook the nozzle of the garden hose on the side of my hammock, then spray myself whenever I get too hot. Next year I'm getting a pool. Before I had air conditioning, my wife and I put a couple inches of hose water in a plastic kiddie pool and sat in lawn chairs soaking our feet. Turns out if your feet are comfortably cool then you will be comfortable overall. Over subsequent years we built it up, bought a projector and watched Netflix cast on the side of the house while watching from lawn chairs with feet soaking. Living the high life. Putting a few ice cubes in the dryer with a garment that needs ironing. 15 minutes later you have a wrinkle-free item of clothing with extra time free to spend on other things. How about a frozen leg of lamb instead? Then you'll have a wrinkle-free shirt and a succulent meal. Mayo Steakhouses don't want you to know this one trick. If you think someone is following you, literally act as crazy and stupid as you can. It is so stupid, but the other person is usually so freaked out they leave you alone. This sounds like Monty Python. Silly walkers will not be mugged. Drop your pants mid-stride, squat down, and take a shit on the sidewalk while maintaining eye contact with your stalker. My aunt puts her expensive jewelry in a Ziploc bag and her cheap jewelry in the jewelry boxes. She apparently had a lot of her jewelry stolen in the past by family. She now only has the cheap stuff stolen. Yup, you get really creative when you've had your stuff stolen. It also sucks because I'll never not feel anxiety leaving my house again. One of the worst feelings is coming home and noticing a lot of your stuff is gone. Wait, I had a TV when I left. Had. Dressing well at work. You can be an amazing worker, but people really do judge you by how you look. And by well I mean looking put together and professional. This applies for trades, blue collar work as well as white collar. I've worked both. This is verified fact. Always been one to dress up for work, and routinely, folks in the elevator lobby who don't know me assume I am headed for the top floor, where the finance and C-suite folks live. This is also cultural. At a tech company, at least on the dev side, no one cares how you dress. I work with a bunch of senior engineers and scientists who come in wearing shirts, and our manager rolls in wearing shorts and a t-shirt. If you have trouble locking your car or opening your gate via remote control because you are far away, hold it to your head and you improve your remote's antenna. Some people are scared of it, but it is because your head is a Faraday cage that it simply conducts the signal around your scalp, giving you a giant antenna. So next time you forget where you parked your car and you press the button and nothing happens, hold it to your head and push the button. Your car will probably unlock and make a noise so you can find it. I've used this one for a while and can confirm it works. Told a skeptical friend this and he came back a few weeks later and thanked me for the useful information. My coolest one was, I was in a meeting with a bunch of professionals and the architect's car alarm starts going off outside about 1 block down and we are on the 2nd floor. He starts leaning out the window to try and turn it off and I told him put it to your head. He looks at me like I am trying to mock him and ignores me. He tries and tries again. I tell him, put it to your head. He looks at me like I am an idiot again, but by now he is desperate to avoid the trip to his car to put off his alarm. So he tries it. Bleep bleep. First time. Everyone in the room nearly fell out of their chairs. Camera pans to me with an "I told you so" smirk. Tie up some plastic bags outside to mimic a wasp nest. Other wasps won't make a new nest thinking there is already one there. The wasps in the homeowners association might send you a passive-aggressive letter though. Put some fake envelopes in your mailbox. Other hoa wasps won't send you a passive-aggressive letter thinking there is already one there. Putting in earbuds but not listening to anything and instead listen to the people around you. Also, was having a hard time being on time. So set the clock in my bathroom ahead 15 minutes. I mean, I know it's fast, but I'm not late anymore. My mom always did the set the clock ahead 5 minutes thing, but then she'd realize that it was 5 minutes fast and adjust it in her head. So she started setting it 10 minutes fast, and so on. I laughed so much when I visited once and the bedroom bathroom clocks were a full hour and 15 minutes fast from this absurd exercise. My anti-clothing static device. I think I learned about this on Reddit. I live in a dry climate and static cling was always a problem. I really dislike fabric softeners for multiple reasons, but this trick solved the problem. Take an old cloth, mine is a cloth napkin, and pin 7-10 big safety pins to it. Just toss it in the dryer with your clothes. The safety pins hit the sides of the dryer. Continually grounding your laundry works like a charm. Giving someone a compliment before asking them to do something. My friend told me when I stubbed my toe to say anal and it actually helped the pain. I'm actually quite a serious person, but one can't deny results. Positive self-talk. Yup, speaking your goals. Speak what you want into existence. I'm doing pretty good. People respect my work. I have an awesome mustache and my wife loves me. Wash your hands in shaving cream to remove fish onion nasty smells. Sucking your thumb on the roof of your mouth to ease brain freeze. Came here to say this. Really? You can just press the pad of your thumb there. I guess sucking kinda locks it in place there, but then your thumb is covered in saliva. My depression makes it hard for me to do chores on command, but I figured out that if I set a timer or give myself some time to psych myself up, Then I do it. It doesn't always work, but 85% of the time I end up succeeding. And it's a huge leap from a few months ago when I just shut down over chores. Wearing 2 pairs of socks, one thin pair under a thick pair. Sounds stupid. It helps wick the sweat away from your feet, reducing stinky feet and crusty socks. The socks the army gives us are like this. A thin black nylon inner, then a wool blend outer. Besides the sweat thing, it helps with blisters if you are walking a long distance. I've worked in mental health for years. I can't tell you how many people tell me what a good listener I am, because I just shut up and let people talk. It's not rocket science, but the large majority of people just want to feel like their voices are being heard. Too many therapists and providers don't know how to be quiet and stop loving the sound of their own voices. Hitting the TV to work. The laptop I am typing this on will sometimes stop working, and if I hit it in exactly the right spot, it reconnects some connection and actually starts up again. I've started saying hey I, like the Fonz hitting a jukebox. It's very satisfying. If your kid sharpies your wall, use mayonnaise to clean it off. Interesting. I'm not going to experiment to see if you're right. Nail polish remover works great too, or just go buy some acetone. In the lab where I work we use Sharpies on everything and it wipes right off with acetone and to a lesser extent ethanol. Telling yourself you're warm when you are cold, or telling yourself you are cold when you are warm. You may think I'm bullshitting, but you can seemingly focus your energy on one and it seems to help slightly. I saw something about this one guy who calls himself the Iceman and goes shirtless into the wilderness of any given tundra. He said that it's all in the mind. And he's obviously never died of hypothermia up to this point. It gave me the idea to try it, and occasionally I'll try it in a real scenario and it will sort of actually make a difference. Don't get me wrong. Could be complete wishful thinking and some circumstantial evidence that it works, but it has helped in the past. Give it a try. Reverse psychology. Eat a spoon of peanut butter to stop hiccups. Works every time for some reason. Seeing as I'm deathly allergic, I suppose you are correct. Hungover? Drink a shot or 2 in the morning and you're fine. You can't have a hangover if you are always drunk. Also can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.